Evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. It's a warm welcome. Just completing my package. So I look very professional on here. The hair properly brushed. Trying to get a new razor. I'm really short for money to buy a razor, and I'm using an old razor, and man, it's tearing up my face. But it's a warm welcome. I know that you've come here to deal with a government agency that I call the Child Protection System, or CPS for short. Now, everybody knows that CPS stands for the Child Protection Services, but it is necessary called that in every county and every state. What I found that there's all kinds of names, so it's easy for me just to say CPS. And we're talking about the United States government agency that is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse, and also supposed to do family reunification. Now, this is an interactive live stream. I'm on here twice a day, transmitting on the StreamYard software application that uses YouTube. You found me on Facebook. There's Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and then Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. These two live streams, one in the morning, one at night. The one I'm talking to is the nighttime, and it comes on at 7 o'clock, and I got to make sure it's 7. It's after 7 o'clock. And I have two running times. I have the clock time and my running time when it started the show. And it looks like it started a little bit late tonight. But I want to be doubly sure, because this morning, for the first time in I don't know how many 2,000 live streams, I came on an hour early. Now, I've had problems sometimes coming on late, but never early. And I started at 9 o'clock when I thought it was 10 o'clock, and I couldn't understand where all the people were. Anyway, I didn't realize to the end of my show, and suddenly it's approaching 10 o'clock. I said, wait a minute, that's when my show starts. So I was really confused. But anyway, I'm found on Facebook. It brings you to here, to this room here. And tonight, this room is titled Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace. Now, the other show, Stop Taking Our Children with Bob Pace, is on at 10 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 o'clock in the morning on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. The times I've given you are Pacific Standard Time. That means I'm on the west coast of California. I'm broadcasting 3 blocks from the ocean at Surf City, USA. There's been a large surfing contest every day of this week, and I'm not too far from it. Anyway, I too was a victim of CPS. That's where I learned a lot of my information. I've been fighting them for 15 years. 10 of them, the last 10, they had my children, and I got them back. Well, they had my children for 3 years. I got them back. I've been still fighting them. It's terrible that you have to use the word fight. But the CPS out there are rogue. They're bad. You don't know the good from the bad. And I'd say half of the CPS entities are bad. Where I get half? Well, there are two kinds of reporters. That report child abuse and child neglect. They're the professional ones that are required by law to report suspected abuse or neglect. Then there are the lay people, your family, your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, the person at the store, the gas station, whatever. They're not required by law because they don't work with children. But anybody that works with children are mandated reporters, such as nurses and doctors, teachers, administrators, counselors, caregivers, firemen, policemen, those kinds of individuals. They are trained and supposed to recognize abuse and neglect. Now, 75% of all reports are due to neglect. 25% are abuse. Now, abuse is when it gets physical or domestic violence, verbal abuse. Those kinds of things can be very detrimental to a child. And it goes on all the time, don't get me wrong. Every day I receive reports, a 3-year-old that was held in his car while the social worker was in the home for 5 hours, and the small child, a 3-year-old, this is in Alabama, died in the back seat of the car. You can imagine with seatbelts on at 150 degrees in the car. Parents won't be the same. So abuse does happen, even in social workers' custody. Now, they should be charged with murder, but it seems like a lot of times all they do is they fire them. Anybody that kills anybody should be charged with murder. Then the court should decide, was it premeditated murder or was it an accidental murder? It's still bad. I'm not trying to say the two are lesser, but anybody that injures a child or hurts a child should be charged. And a lot of times all I hear is the sheriff, the slap on the wrist, you're fired, or the social worker, you're fired. Well, that doesn't bring back the life that was killed. There's been many mistaken incidents by policemen who are supposed to be very proud and serve the community as a peace officer, not as an instigator or a racist or somebody that just doesn't like people in general or wants to get back at them. I know policemen have been shot at needlessly, and policemen have been, it's a terrible job, don't get me wrong. And being a social worker may be a terrible job dealing with all the people, all from different walks of life. But I have no perfect answer. All I can do is talk about things and help people see and recognize where you have to go if your matters with CPS. You aren't born with the knowledge or given a handbook when you get married or anything else about CPS. It's trial and error. And so I had I had 5 years plus 3 more years. I had 8 years of constant harassment by CPS. It was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking. Now, there's lots of ways you can interact on this live stream. One way, I'm going to put it up right now, is you can text me a message. I'd love to have messages because I can answer your question and talk about your case. This whole show is about you. This whole show is helping you with your case. You're at your crossroads. Your hearing's tomorrow, the next day. Now, I'm on, as I say, twice a day. That's 14 live streams a week. So if your case is next week or next day, I'll be around and I will help you. I'll do anything humanly possible in the hour I'm on to help you with your case. Now, a disclosure, I'm not an attorney at law. I'm a wise man, a father, and a husband, and I've raised 6 children and have 42 years of marriage. I also have 61 years of life skill. So I know the ins and outs about CPS, the good and the bad. I can answer your questions and your concerns. A lot of what I talk about is a lot with your faith in God. Now, I bring up that life skill, God, because we got to believe in a creator. The Native American Indians, the first immigrants, believed in the spirit, the creator, the great creator. People that believe in Jesus Christ are called Christians. Now, if I don't know if you know this or not, but God and Jesus Christ are one of the same. God came down to the world as Jesus Christ. He was born of Mary. And Mary brought God into this world as Jesus Christ. He wanted to walk among the people and be able to help out the people. See, for eons of time, ever since the beginning in Genesis in the Bible, which is a wonderful book, and I'm relearning that. And this isn't a class on church, or you have to pray to Jesus, or you have to pray to God, or I only know the right way. Because I have been following Jesus Christ and God all my life. I just not have known how important they are to me. Um, when I pray, my prayers are answered. It's really strange. It is hard. It's hard. Good evening. I just feel energetic today. I had a good day with God. I made some prayers, and my prayers were answered. Now, besides texting the message, and that's all you have to do. Um, and I don't need to know all the states with the country USA. The reason why I put the country in there because 22 countries have text or called into my live stream. 22 of them, and they have been Indonesia and Bangladesh and um, India, then up to Middle East. It's been Saudi Arabia and Libya, then over to the continent of Africa where creation started, have been Liberia and Sudan and the Republic of Congo, Rwanda and Mozambique, and then South Africa and its many provinces. Then up to Europe, we have the United Kingdom with England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. These are all people that have texted in or called on my live stream. And we go across the pond to North America, to Canada, the Canadians, and their provinces. Then there's the United States, and I heard from all 50 states, some of them many times over. I even heard from Washington, D.C., in the District of Columbia. And then south the border, Mexico. Then further south in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, New Zealand, and then the land down under Australia and its states. So that's 22 countries, with the U.S. is 23. So when I say text a message and put in the country, that's for people outside the United States. Also, tell me if this is your first time about your case so I can help you from the beginning, from the knock on the door or the phone call or the letter you got from CPS accusing you of doing something. So please text me a message. I want to help you. I want to answer the questions. Another way you can interact is to be a guest on this live stream. All you do is email our show producer, and that is Grace. There's an email. It's a banner up there. You just pick a day or time. Say I want to be on Sundays, Bob's Sunday morning show, a Bob's Friday night show, or Bob Wednesday morning. You just give morning or evening one day of the week. It's really simple. She'll send you a link to StreamYard. You copy and you paste. If you get knocked off, you repaste it. It's good for the whole length of the show, the link is. And it'll take you to the room that I'm in, StreamYard, and I have 9 of you. So with me, that's 10. And all 10 of us are pictures we put across the screen. I've only seen 4, so I don't know how it's stacked. I'd imagine you probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe I don't know, 4 times 5, maybe 5 maybe 5 rows and 4 columns, or 4 rows and 5 columns. I don't know. But if it has as many as 4, so it's all the way across. So anyway, that's another way that you can interact. Texting messages or be a guest. And her email's right there. That's my show producer, Grace. Now, a third way or another way to interact is to call me. There's my phone number, 626-698-0990. That's my phone. That's my office number. When you call that number, you'll be connected with me. Now, I make phone calls Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock and from 1 o'clock, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Those 4 hours I do every day are so that if you're interested in hiring Mr. Davis, I help you. I help you fill out the application and help you sign on and answer your questions. So if you want Mr. Davis, you can call me and I can help you. Because he is available. He's very reasonable. Right now, Mr. Davis, his hourly rate is $500 approximate an hour. He's not the most expensive. He's not the cheapest. I've heard rates from $200 to $1,000 an hour. And some of those attorneys have been pretty bad. Now, all attorneys will get a retainer. That means money they hold so they can work on your case. If they expect to get paid an hourly, they can't do a job that way. They have to do a job that involves 10 to 15. In the beginning, it's like 20 or 30 hours of startup time. So that's why they ask for a retainer. Now, Vincent, for LA County, where his office is located in Arcadia, where he lives, his retainers are approximately $5,000. Now, I'm only giving these fees as an approximation, like his hourly rate is approximately $500. Because every case is different and complex. So depending on how long the case has been going on and how complex it is, would determine his retainer and his hourly rate. But he's very reasonable. He's very reasonable. I am really thirsty tonight. Sometimes I get excited being on the show. I don't know why, because it can be very, very, very drastically bad. It looks like we got someone in the room. Who did we get? Dorothy. Welcome, Dorothy Cook. Good evening. She is on the East Coast in North Carolina. She's 3 hours ahead of me. So it's already 10 o'clock at night. But she comes on my show twice a day during the weekdays, and I guess once a day on the weekends. But she's on all the time, and she summarizes what I talk and put it into chat. And if you don't see the chat, it's on the bottom right-hand corner of the picture when you look at it. My nose is still dripping. I don't know. The reason why my nose runs, and I have that, is that I'm a water person. That means I go in the ocean. I have to keep my gills so they don't dry up. I have to keep them wet. Yes, I'm a surfer. Been a surfer all my life since age 7. Started to learn about it in the big in the island they called the Gathering Island, Oahu, on the south shore at Waikiki, at a break called Queens. Beautiful rolling break, beautiful experience. But sadly, my dad was stationed. He was in the Navy, a career officer, and he was stationed to Guam. So I had to take my surfing to Guam. Now, in 1956, there were no surf shops in Guam. There's no surfers on Guam. I think to this day, I was the first surfer in Guam. I don't know. I haven't had anybody come forward and try to dispute me. But I learned the sport, I introduced the sport by a guy named Rabbit Kakai, one of the old Hawaiian Beach Boys. He's on now. He's one of the last ones that passed away. But he was my friend for a good, I think, a good 40 years, 45. Anyway, he saw me grow up from a little 7-year-old to what I am today. Unfortunately, in my life, I encountered a bad thing called CPS, which all of you have encountered. Even Dorothy Cook has. Now, Mr. Davis has a number here. And I got it blocked right now with this new program that allows all the comments to be shown on. So I'll temporarily take that off and show you the number. It's 888-888-6582. That's the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. When you call in, you'll reach reception. Make sure you identify yourself that Bob Pace sent you. And if you do speak to Mr. Davis, you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. When you call in that number, you can ask for Mr. Davis. Say, I want to hire Mr. Davis, or I want to talk to Mr. Davis. Also, you may want to know what other live streams are on. Mr. Davis does 2 or 3 live streams a week. He has his weekly day show and then a Saturday show. We have other people on Monday and Wednesday that do shows also. But with that being said, there's a lot of information at office. It tells you a lot there. You can ask about books you can buy. Grandparents' Guide for Adopting Your Grandchildren. Step-by-step guide. A guide to fight CPS, a book on it, and so forth. Lots of those things. Now, I have a discount called PACE, capital PACE 50. You get 50% off anything you buy there. 50% off. The grandparent guide is $9.99. You get 50% off, less than $5. All you have to do is use that reference, PACE. PACE, all capitalized 50. But there's the number of the office. And he's available. You don't have to go through me to talk to him. But if you have some questions or concerns, or we do cases in other states, I'll get you quotes. Now, roughly, I gave a quote for Atlanta, Georgia of 125. But I gave the similar quote to Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for 125. So it all depends on the complexity and the case. And also, if Mr. Davis has to go out of his home, he's not going to drive from LA to wherever you are. He's going to take a plane. And when he gets there, he's going to need a car to drive around to the courts and to the hotel he needs to stay at if he's going to stay there for a couple of days. He also needs to eat. It's expensive eating out now. You used to be able to cover meals for $5. Now you're lucky it's $15 a meal. So 3 meals is $30, $45, $50 a day for food. And accommodations are sometimes $200, $300, $400. Airfare sometimes is $300, $500, depends where he flies to. And car rental is anywhere from $200 to $300 a week. So those added expenses are part of his retainer. Then also he needs a license. So he has to get a license for that state to practice law. It's foolish to spend 50 states with license fees because that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you're not going to be practicing law in every state at once. But you go to other states. He has 39 years of fighting CPS and getting thousands of children back. He's a pit bull of attorney, but he's kind-hearted. And he knows how to work the system. He's a trial attorney, plus he's a civil rights attorney. He will sue, and he's won back millions of dollars against people's violation of constitutional and civil rights. He's the real deal. And he's one of the 3 candidates you should seek out to find. Yes, I said 3 candidates. Anytime you shop for something, you should always get 3 quotes. You want to make sure you're getting the right price. Sometimes prices are across the board. Boy. Excuse me. I am thirsty tonight. And I've taken too much. Went down my windpipe. I got to calm down. So when you talk around getting an attorney, you want to get 3 quotes. And it's really simple to get an attorney. You do my rule number 4, which is how to use internet. It's very important you pick a strong browser. A browser is a software application that helps you search the World Wide Web. Now, I'm giving you some life skills. All the time, I'm teaching you life skills. How to shop for a computer. I mean, God is a life skill. It's a very important life skill. And I will talk about God because I'm proud to have faith in Him. You see, everybody, like myself, is on this locomotive, on a train. How many of remember Polar Express, the boy on the train? Well, you know, a locomotive travels in the movie or the book. It shows it going on rail. Everybody knows locomotive uses 2 rails, typically. There's a left rail and the right rail. Now, I call the left rail the circle of life. And I got that from The Lion King and Disney. You know, the father's talking to the son about life. We all start out helpless. We end up helpless in the end. It's sad, but it's true. But we as humans on this world can have a big circle or a little circle. If our health habits are bad, we'll have a little circle. If we lie and cheat, we'll have a little circle. But if we're kind to people and do good deeds, we'll have a bigger circle. Your goal is to have the largest circle you can. Now, the tracks have also a right rail, and I call that the stairway to heaven. The Stairway to Heaven. I think that's a song. I think that's a Led Zeppelin song. Anyway, we are trying to go to heaven. And how do we get to heaven? By doing good deeds, repent our sins. Doing good deeds help. And that's what the railroad ties that connect the 2 rails are strong. Wood is strong, and those ties are very strong. So as you work hard, you try to do a good deed. Now, I like giving my time to the Boy Scouts, but now it's called the Scouts. I should not use the word Boy Scouts. It's hard not to. Because girls are part of it, and other groups are part of it too. So it's just called Scouts. I have over 50 years of volunteer work with the Scouts. I have 50 years with the IndyCar racing, the Long Beach Grand Prix. I have 50 years with the American Red Cross. And I have over 25 years with the surfing organizations and surfing contests and surfing worldwide. I mean, I've been surfing for longer than anything else, but organizing and being president and competing, I only did that for a good 25 years. But I have a lot of experience of being volunteer. And during those times, I like to help. And now I've been doing this now for 21 months. Next month, it'll be 22 of trying to help others, to fight off CPS, to get your children, to hang on to your children. It's bad out there. Now, I know right now we don't have very many people. You're asking me a lot of questions. You would, I'd be stop and answer the question. So I'm going to keep talking to someone gives me a question or calls in and wants to talk. I don't like to be the only one talking in this live stream. But one day I had almost 20 some people in here. And it seemed like the more I talk about live streams, the more people are in here. We have trouble learning a lot of things, and I'm a great person for learning a lot of things. I'm a really great person about that. We are really got to say a lot of prayers tonight because Russia really has some heavy earthquakes coming our way to California, Hawaii, and Alaska. They had in the 8 range, which is bad. Now, I don't know if God is trying to wake up Russia because Russia is behind a lot of things we have going on. Russia has a lot of things going on. I'm hoping that Hamas rebels will finally stop what they're doing and the Hamas thing can end. You know, Iran is stopped for the moment. I don't know if it's going to end or not. I know we still have to worry about North Korea and China and so forth, but it affects our children. The safety of our children is so important. And that's what we need to do here. We need to understand CPS to fight them. We need to know the lingo, the language. We need to know what a 388 motion is, the ICWA 1978 Act. That's the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. I know that North Carolina on June 26 got a lot of new mandates on child welfare. It's very important you do a lot of your homework and research. The internet is full of it. As I mentioned to you, you need to know how to find things. One is an attorney. And I had a person from Portland, Oregon that said, I can't find an attorney. Who can I get? I think there's attorneys available everywhere. It's just how much time you want to spend looking for one and how you're searching it. Now, I like Google Chrome browser. That seems to be the best browser. It's geared that way. That's where a lot of the search was there. Now, I'm not against GoDuckGo or Mozilla or Microsoft Edge or all the other ones. They're probably good. But I can find things with CPS by using Google Chrome. And you always start off with the city, the state, and if you're outside the United States, you put the country. Then you put the letter CPS. And by that alone, that'll bring up so much in that state or country or city about CPS. But if you want to be more specific, such as I want a juvenile law, family law, dependency attorney, it'll bring those up. That's how you find your attorneys. And as I tell you, you only need to get 2 quotes because you already have one. I've given you Vincent Davis. Now, when you do call the law firms or talk to an attorney, you need to make sure that they are what they say they are because you don't want to waste your time. Question 1 is, are you a juvenile law, a family law, dependency attorney who has fought CPS and got children back? The answer to that question is yes. That's a 2-part question, by the way. That's great. Now he's ready for your second question. If the answer no, then you move on from that attorney. That's not a good candidate. The second question is you say after the case is over, have you filed a civil lawsuit against CPS either in state court or in federal court and won money back? And the answer is yes. Then you got your 2 answers, yes. Then that is a law firm you want to get a hard quote from, a money quote. After those 2 questions, you got the word yes, then you ask them, can I have 3 references to call about you as an attorney? Now, you probably say this is a lot of work. Yes, it is. But if you're going to get an attorney, you need to know how much, and you need to know if they're qualified. Too many of you go out and give $20,000 like it's nothing and get the wrong attorney. You get a criminal attorney, or you'll get an immigration attorney, or a real estate attorney, or a workplace attorney. You won't get the right attorney for this. Remember, it's juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the 3 areas of child welfare system. And Vincent has all 3 of them. He has many years, 39 years, a long time. Also, Vincent was in foster care as a small child. So he knows about the foster care system. So he is the best candidate. You can't go wrong with him. He was my attorney. Of course, I had to quick sell my home to get the money to hire him because I wanted my kids back. Money was not important as my family was. Yes, it was a lot of money I spent. But I got, 3 of my children were taken. Two of them were returned. The other one was not returned because the social worker retaliated when Mr. Davis caught her lying on the stand. She committed perjury, outlandish perjury. And it was good to see him work and do that. That's why I recommend Vincent Davis. Now, you can talk to him, by the way. I have a way that you can talk to him right now. I need to put it up. Take my number down for a second and put it up there. But I have, for a really good fee, you really can't go wrong with this one here. Where'd it go? I don't know. I thought we had it here, and I don't see it. Hmm. I'm still waiting for answers from my show producer. Okay. Okay. Well, I asked my show producer some questions. Maybe she'll answer there. Okay, we used to have. There's been some changes, and I excuse it for you right now. Um, I think there's right now. If you want a private text message, it's $10 with attorney Vincent Davis. And if you want a private call from Vincent Davis, it's $15. And if you want to be a guest on a 30-minute live show with attorney Vincent Davis, it's $25. So there's three options you have there. The options, I think, changed yesterday or today. So I used to have other options, but it looks like they're gone now. I've looked in on my banners here and I don't see them here. Let me see. No, I guess that one's taken down. So anyway, oh, Andrea Peralta, it's good to see you. And I love it with that little thumbs up I think you gave me. By the way, emojis are fun. Please send me emojis. Thumbs up, smiling faces, hearts, stars. Those are nice. Please check the follow button. If you want to be notified, check the notification button. That's all good. Andrea, I forgot where you're from. If you could tell me your city and state, it would be great. So, Andrea, it's a warm welcome. If you have a question, I'd love to answer your question. It's very important that I talk to you all because I don't like to sit here and talk for an hour and not have anybody respond or questions or anything like that. Dorothy does ask me time to time some questions, which I appreciate she doing that. Now, I have my regulars out there, and special prayers go out to them. I know some had cases today, yesterday. Corella from Oxnard, California, has two things working against her. Her babies were taken by her father, who has not returned them to her, and she was evicted out of her home that she was taking care of her mother by her stepbrother, which is sad because she should never have been evicted. And now she's living in her car, and it's a terrible way as a young adult to live. I know, I've lived in a car. I know what it's like. I lived in the RX-7. And I tell you, it's a sports car. You never lay horizontal. Ended up in the hospital. It was terrible. And they said I had to get a place to live, so I got a place. And I was going through CPS at that time, and I had to sell my home. I did a quick sell and lost my forever home through no fault of my own. You see, my case started in 2010, and unfortunately, I lost my job through no fault of my own. And oh, great, we got a call from somebody. Let's see who it is. It's area code. Good evening and welcome to my live stream. This is Bob Pace. And who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Hi, Diane. And what part of the world are you from? Oh, well, I'm right now in my show. Can I talk to you after my show, Diane? Okay, I understand. I'll be over the show or show time. We got about 15 minutes, so I'll talk to you in about 15, 20 minutes. It just came up. I just see the number. I'll call it. Okay. Yeah. By the way, okay. Thank you very much, Diane. That's right. Right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay. Diane is a sweet mother from Illinois, has a horrible case. Um, Family members were working against her. CPS is working against her, and she did not want to talk on the show. But Diane wants to talk to me afterwards, and I guess I will talk to her. I do talk to people, but I'm not supposed to. But I know how hard it is, y'all, and I do listen. I do care. In fact, I spend too much time with CPS. It's almost becoming a 24/7 time frame because I talk to people all times a day. People will call me at 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. It's so sad because there isn't anybody out there that will help them. And these people are from all over the place. It's like I have Leica, who's from the province of South Africa, the West Province, and she will sometimes cry in tears because she has no family in Africa. Now she's Dutch. She's part of the Dutch people that settled in South Africa. They call themselves Africans or something like that. They speak a Dutch language. Anyway, she's very sweet. She's 40 years old, and her boyfriend, uh, guy, he was that horrible, horrible man or woman that is a pedophile. And so, anyway, she found out the hard way. But the government in South Africa is very corrupt. They don't seem to listen, and she is terrible. She can't live in the house. She has to live in the garage. And she has no support. And I'm only her family here. This is sad. A lot of you, there's about 20 or 30. Dorothy's in here. Corella's in here. Betty Joe, Barney, um, the Cassandra, who is Tony the Tiger from Ostenago, New York. A sweet lady up in Wilmington, Delaware. People in Arizona, people in San Diego, Margaret King in the Kern River in California. There's David Halego up in Santa Maria. There's a lady up in Santa Barbara County. They're all over the place. And a lot of them are good people. Yes, they may have hiccups, but that's what the unification is all about by taking a parenting class or something like that. Now, I have right now getting close to 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. It's 7:59. I have about 1 minute left. Jeez. Where is time flown? Where is time flown? I don't know where time is flying or flown or whatever the word is. But I'm sorry that all of you are going through the rafts of CPS. They are bad. You're like Alice in Wonderland. You're in the backyard, you found a rabbit hole, you fell in, and you met the Chester cat. And the cat sends you to one room to the next. Off with your head, they say. Well, CPS is crazy, fighting them. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You need to have that attorney. You need to get it. A court appointed or public defender is a waste of time. Those people are lucky if they have a criminal background in criminal law, but the criminal law will not help you in here. It's juvenile law, family law, dependency law. That's the three areas of law that you need to be in. Criminal is not one of them. You have to learn things by keeping your door closed. When your door is closed, your drawbridge is up, your castle is secured. Don't open it to strangers. Have a special knock or a special ring for people that come into your home. Tell other family members, don't open it to strangers. Tell your children, don't open it. That's one of the life skills that should be taught early on. How to deal with strangers, about opening and closing the door, bullying. Those are three life skills I love to talk about. See, that's our sad part. We don't do enough life skills. Life skills should happen for every day you're in school. You should have 1 hour of life skills. It could be anything: sex education, dating, divorce, CPS. All the different topics are going up there. Um, you know, there's a lot of topics that can be talked about. And I have a good background. As I say, I have 61 years of life skills. I have 61 years. You want to know about lifeguarding, ocean lifeguarding, pool lifeguarding? I have that background. Um, I'm trained and educated as a marine biologist. I have done as a research scientist on a research vessel, as a marine biologist scientist. I'm a civil engineer. I build roads and highways, and done a lot of the freeway system and streetscapes throughout LA County, Santa Barbara County, Ventura County, San Diego, San Bernardino, all over California. I can see my jobs. I've managed seafood restaurants like the Chart House. As I say, I've trained killer whales and pilot whales and dolphins and even penguins and parrots and walruses. So I have a good background. I played a lot of sports. I played football through high school and college, played rugby well into my 50s, and I've surfed all my life. I competed it for a long time. For 25 years, I gave a lot to surfing. Anyway, I can help you with almost anything you can come up with. You just have to ask. You want to know how to balance your checkbook. For instance, I've been telling a lot of people about a new program, and it's put out by Microsoft. It's called the Things to Do, and it's a free application you download from Microsoft. And it has a grocery list. It has your task management. It can be put on all the devices. I just saw it the other day, and I was really looking at it and really exploring it. There's a lot of things that I've come across. Things like a thing that my son just showed me called Chat GPT. That is one of the new AI programs. You can ask it any questions. It's intelligent. For instance, I can talk about computers, like the new 50 series. What's the difference between a 5070, a 5080, or a 5090? How about the difference between an i9 and an Ultra 9, a 14th generation or not? What is RAM? What is a hard drive? A two terabyte hard drive. How much do you really need? So these things, these life skills, I have a lot in the background. But don't forget the most important one is that train you're on. You want to live a big life, so make that circle wide. And you want to do good deeds. If you can do at the end of the day, when you say your prayers and say goodnight to God, tell God your good deed you did for the day. You try to do one good deed a day. That's all. You try to wake up with a big smile. It's a new day. My day starts at 4 o'clock at the dawn patrol, where I'm checking out the surf before the moon's gone down and the sun has risen. Because I want to be the first out there before the crowds come. So at 4 o'clock, if the surf's up, I'll go home, get my board, and I'll paddle out there. That's so my gills stay wet. But I love helping you. I love the CPS and fighting for it because I've learned a lot about it. It isn't as complicated as I thought it was. But you have to know who to do and who to talk to and whatnot. Now, it's 8 o'clock. I do have to end my live stream. And I want to thank Dorothy, whose generosity being in here tonight, saying summary of things. God bless you, Dorothy, and thank you so much. Now, Andrea Perlotta had a question. I missed it. At the judicial hearing, the judge stopped the hearing and ordered us to mediation. Had mediation today, social worker didn't show up. That's good news. The judge probably heard enough. You probably have a good, honest judge. And he wanted it all dumped back on the social worker because they didn't have a case against you, Andrea. Andrea's from San Bernardino, California. Andrea, can you call back again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock my time? That's Wednesday, Pacific Standard Time. And tell me about your case from start to end, because I like to share it with the others in this room. If not, you can call back tomorrow night or the next day or whatever. But Andrea, thank you for informing me of that. So she had some good news there that they had to go back to mediation. The judge probably recognizes the social worker has nothing to stand on. Keep in mind, 50% of the mandated reporters get it wrong. And of the laymen, 75% get it wrong. And by the way, the abuse is 25%, neglect is 75%. So with that being said, again, thank Dorothy for being here and the rest of you. I didn't really get any emojis this time, which is okay. But I'm going to take my phone number down. I'm going to put my other message up here called the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. And that is the federal level. That's the last buck starts there. They are investigating social services, and CPS, the Child Protection System, is a part of social services. So they're hopefully going to find how they misuse money and how they do bad things. I'm hoping that they do. So you can write them emails. You can go to their website. They can offer you a full-time job, a career job, no hourly salary position. And they have phone numbers, the White House numbers. 202 is the White House. And you can also email them, and they will respond. It's a good agency. Now, remember, do not give up on your family. Keep fighting for your children. Now, there'll be a brief video that talks about us and Mr. Davis and so forth. Please listen to it. God bless you all. And this is Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your